Hey, it's 7:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time by a clock that's 7 minutes fast. Here in a super cool little minivan. Lisa colored my hair for me. Well, bleached it, whatever you want to call it. Highlighted it, all of it. So yeah, I'm grateful for that. That got done. So if I had some eyeliner and lipstick on, I'd have a pretty good modern look going, eh? I brought the camera out, but I wasn't gonna make a video. I just came out here to like hang out. But it got put on my spirit. The derangement of some entities here in pre-existence right now. Because, well, for the animals that God created, the parameters of the paradigm got changed. So those, including artificial intelligence, all things capable of thought who don't have proper empathy for animals, are getting negatively affected. They're getting instant reciprocity, right? And you see these entities like show their true colors when they think nobody's looking, even though the universe is looking and their eyes are looking, which, you know, their spirit memory is recording their you know, everything. It's non-tamperable, and it's recording their omissions and their thoughts, you know, and the evil shit they do and think. And they you see them do some evil shit, like, you know, want to negatively affect, say, a homeless cat, scare it or make it feel uncomfortable in some kind of way, send it scurrying off, right? And then you kind of see the immediate reaction from the universe as, like, the devils swoop in on them and start controlling their mind to do even more dumb shit that actually could negatively affect their own life, you see, and the lives of others, which will negatively affect them. So you see that, and it's like you almost feel sorry for them, you know, because, well, in some cases, like, you know, some shit I see, the entities are already cursed, as cursed as they could get. You know, it's like poverty-stricken. Nobody in their house has a job. Nobody in their house has a driver's license. The vehicles they got in the driveway, you know, are illegal. They're not even street legal. You know, it's like you go pulling out in that shit, you know, you're not street legal. You know, it's like, and then when you're presented with even the smallest inkling of what's not even an opportunity, it's more like a test, and you fail the test and you make something feel, you know, something innocent feel afraid where it has to go running off and shit. It can't trust you, you know. You're gonna be one of them fuckers that will want to do something evil to it, even if it's just scare it. And it's like, you know, this this moronic display of, you know, bringing down the hammers of the gods upon oneself, you know, it's like, hey, it's already bad for you, and there was your test. You know, does the cat feel comfortable? Can it walk past you? You're gonna idle, or you're gonna get all loud and scare it away because, well, you're mean-spirited, you're devilish, you know, and you're gonna get some kind of thrill out of that. Well, then, you know, the same force, entity, spirit, devil, whatever, that possessed you, commandeered you, bodied you, to make you want to do that, will also make you do some other dumb shit, you see. Kind of like the person who cuts in line, ends up in the wrong place at the wrong time, that kind of thing. The entity that led them to cut in line was actually leading them to their untimely demise, or, you know, some bad experience, you see. So I guess I'm waiting for this woman to call me about the apartment. My sister said I should go look at it, and to see if like I might feel different about it once I see it. I might want to move in there. Yeah, she's right. I should go look at it. And I'm going to, if the woman calls me and says it's open and blah blah blah, come look at it. You see, I'm gonna go look at it. Because, well, if these guys want me out of here, then I ultimately want to be out of here. That's where I'm at with that. I don't want to be somewhere where I make somebody the opposite of what I should be making them by being there, Or I don't make them feel the full benefits of, the value of my presence or whatever, how beneficial it could be. If that's not how things are received, then, it is time for me to be gone. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't really feel any animosity about it, ultimately. Because it's like, get an apartment, get a mobile home, whatever, I guess. In any of those positions, I'm going to be vulnerable being alone, But, someone could manifest that, I'm going to be like looking forward to having my own place to share it with this entity. You see, whoever he or she is, right? So, all this stuff may come together really close to where it's like it's not going to be a bad thing when I move. It's actually going to be like, that's how my sister said to look at it, is like, refreshing change, new beginnings. And it could be all that. It could be all that, See, what I'm concerned with is like, moving with the move of the spirit. Like, if it's a move of the spirit, then yeah, hey, yeah, I should be moving. But if it's like a move of the flesh, ego, whatever, it's not a move of God's spirit, then yeah, I am resistant to it, naturally, because I'm resistant to anything that's not a move of God's spirit. Outside of the context of my private sexual shit, which has nothing to do with God or my ability to serve him. Same with y'all. If you're not, making that your personality, kind of like, I don't know, Ellen, Rosie O'Donnell, where it's like, okay, to even see these entities and think about them, you have to think about their sexuality, their preferences, things about them that we shouldn't even have ever had to think about, which kind of makes their famous personas gross. And it's gross to expose them to children when they make sure that it's solidified in the minds of all who behold them that, their identity is in their sexual identity, you see. And sex is not a big part of your life. I mean, unless like that's what you do, it's like you offer that service, which I'd love to be able to do that, by the way. I'd love to be able to be a prostitute. But if that's not what you're doing, then, unless you're like nymphoed out or you're oversexed or whatever, you have a life that's beyond that. There are way more hours that you spend doing other shit that is not sex, you see. So if that's where you're at, you're not going to try in some capacity to operate within that service field, within that trade, then you should like try and have like the understanding of the balance that is in its own little compartment. It's not something you're talking about. It's not something you're displaying to others. It's not something you're trying to engage others in that you shouldn't engage them in it. I mean, they don't want no part of it, but you're trying to entice them anyway, or they wouldn't normally be enticed to it, but you catch them in a vulnerable moment and you entice them. Shit like that. I don't know what made me start talking about that. That's weird. It's strange. Maybe there's something. I just watched somebody vandalize their own shit. I mean, to tell you, to further digress on what I was talking about earlier. Just, the mental onslaught against oneself. When you vandalize your own shit. Yeah, I used to be like that. I used to be a retarded white devil who would fuck my own shit up, Believe it or not, being abusive to people that are in your life, even if you think you're in the right at the time, that's vandalizing yourself, your own life. It's vandalizing yourself. You burn bridges and shit. And then later on, you want to cross that bridge, you want to interact with that person, you can't. You see? So it's like, you may spend years before they'll actually come back around and even text you. You see? So, that's something to consider when you're enraged. Is like, because, well, a lot of entities right now are being fed rage. They have the ability to feed thoughts into people's minds. They have the ability to make people feel negative aggression. I haven't seen them pull off making people feel positive aggression where they're all doing good shit, restoring their communities, helping their fellow man, tending to homeless animals. I haven't seen them do that yet. I don't think they're capable of doing good, is why you never see them do good with their abilities, you see, and their technology and all this awesome shit. Yeah. You notice it's not called a life ray. It's not called a restorative ray. It's not called a blessing ray. You see? What's it called? Yeah. Okay. And it's like, okay, that's ancient. You see? And then we know, like, in the 50s and 60s, they could talk to people's minds remotely. Hi, I'm God. Is that you, God? Yeah. Go over there in the corner and pull your penis out and think about Marilyn Monroe and jack off. Are you sure that's what you want me to do, Lord? Yeah, I want to watch it right now. All right, God. Zip. You see? But they wouldn't use it for something that harmless, it'd be like the things that we have seen on the news. Then you see them in the court, they look like deer caught in the headlights. They don't even know what the fuck they did, It's like, yeah, them psychotropics, man, or they put you on them psychotic drugs for your depression or whatever mental shit you have, instead of just having you smoke some of this, where you can control what this is doing to your mind. That shit, once it's in your system, it's fucking with you, man. And it creates this numbness between you and reality, to where, it'd probably be pretty easy to go over there and pull out a knife and blah, 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 whatever. You see, I don't even want to say some of the shit that, it's like we've seen it and we know some of it, the perpetrators were commandeered, and it's a scary thought because, well, out there everywhere is people on these pills, and out there everywhere is this stuff that they can use. It's mobile now. It's in big vehicles, not necessarily dark, but big vehicles where you can't see it. All right, yeah. Shall we just go for a Ruby Danish upload? That's what we'll do, huh? Instead of doing multiple uploads. Because I'm not really up to doing anything tonight. At all. I hate getting my hair colored. It's hard for me to sit through it. And I'm always grateful to be done with it. And this time it was really short. And it's like I lost a lot on the top from, I guess I cut it right down to the scalp when I was using the scissors in the front, because the front was the easiest to get to. That, and I've been wearing those bandanas on my head. And so I need to look into some stuff that will slow down the body hair and promote, growth up there. Because, well, I'm at the age where the testosterone, the male shit is, it's kicking in, and it's like I have to fight against it in some capacity, some kind of way. Yeah, fucking the rain finally dissipated. It's just like a mist now. There's not like no rain collecting on a window or nothing. But it's too cold and clammy, and just everything's wet, and it's just too miserable to even think about going for a walk now. It's late. The wind has like a frigidness to it, a cold, wet frigidness. And I'm not dressed in layers right now, because I showered and I just put on these sweatpants. I got this shirt on. I put on a different shirt for coloring my hair. Ripped up shirt. It used to be one of my favorite shirts. Go in hard, come out wet. That green one I used to wear. I've worn it in a few music videos, so it's like I've utilized it. But yeah, that's what it says. A lot of you see the top and you don't see the bottom because of the guitar, but the top says "Go In Hard," and it's a green shirt with like yellow lettering and shit. The bottom part of that emblem says "Come Out Wet," and it sounds like a sexual innuendo, or like something sexual, but it's not. It's talking about the Asabo River Marathon, which that's the big thing of this town. Every summer, people come from all over the world to do this grueling river race. It's all night long. They have people that are called feeders, that are on their crew that meet them, down the river and actually walk out, as they're speeding by in their canoes, walk out with protein shakes with straws and shit. And as they're paddling by, they'll throw out their empties and they'll grab the, it's like they physically prepare for this shit, this marathon. And it's not just paddling, okay? You have to be able to portage. You gotta get out with your canoe at some places and run up a hill with your canoe, you and your partner. Run up the hill with your canoe and back down the other side. All kinds of grueling shit, man. And it's like, you do not want to try this race if you have not been preparing for it, because you're not going to make it very far. You might make it 5 miles. A lot of people think they're just going to come do this race, and they enter it and everything, and then you see, when you watch on the little thing, you can see, the GPS follows them where they stop. They don't make it 5 miles, 6 miles. And it's like, yeah, those are some people who, they just came out here for the fuck of it, for the sport of it. They didn't really prepare to do it. And then even people who have prepared to do it sometimes may have a bad night, the night of the race, and not be able to complete it. Coming up on that 20-minute mark. See, you can't get away from using a movie maker no matter what. You gotta get a different camera, something that'll record longer or something. Or something, another laptop. I'm due for one of those. And we're back. See? It just stops at 20. And it stops for like 3 or 4 seconds and then it starts back up. Here comes another kitty. This one's coming straight over here. He's not fucking around. I think there's some food. So they put food out and then it rains again. Fucking white devils won't leave the food dry for a few minutes so these guys can eat. I mean, I'll put some more out. Now that the rain is... See, the window is starting to get rain on it again. No, we wouldn't have made it far. We would have been getting rained on. And he came over there. See the good feathers, man. The goddamn birds. I put food over there at the corner of the garage, and the birds, man, just... They don't give a fuck about the rain. The cats, the rain's got to let up a little bit for the cats to come out and fuck with it. But birds, man, they're out here flying around in the rain, just downpouring and shit. They're out here acting like, oh, it ain't raining. You know, I've never seen anything like it. You know, usually birds are still, they're up on lines or on tree limbs and shit when it's raining. Not around here, man. It's like they're out just flying around like it's sunny out and shit. And I've noticed that the last couple of days, they don't seem to give a fuck about the rain. And they've been back there eating, you know. The food got demolished wet, so I pour it out. It's like, you know, soaking wet. It's discolored. It's like not brown anymore. It's like light tan, light yellow. And I dump it out, and what happens is if the fucking rain ever stops, it dries. And when it dries, you know, the skunks and the birds at least will eat it, and some cats will eat it. Because, well, it's got salt added to it, you see. So, yeah, we don't know what the future's holding. I don't know if this kitty found him any food or not. It may have already all got wet. Because I'm having a problem finding a good spot for it. Well, it won't get wet. The lip over by the garage was a good spot if retard hadn't decided he was going to pour acid in the cat food. You know, just dumb shit that motherfuckers do. And then you see how cursed they are. It's like, okay, yeah, look at you. You have a child mind. You don't even know you're cursed. You have a 5-year-old child mind. You hate them skunks for doing to your yard what you would pay somebody good money to do. They aerate it and get rid of your grubs. Dumb shit. You should be encouraging them. Come on, little skunks. Have a good time. You know? And it's like, you know, poison shit. It's like, hey, man, you carry a Bible that talks about being time looped. Do unto others. You know, that's a direct warning. As you want done to you. Okay? Okay, the loose translation, that's what you're getting. Do unto others as you want done to you. Now, add on the overlay, everything goes with it. When you die and get time looped as them. Because when you negatively affect something, that becomes you. When you become awake to that, the Bible's talking about a whole lot more than what you've been taught about in church with all these religious little figureheads. You see, it's like, wow, you know, there's a lot here that they won't tell us, that maybe they don't know. I mean, you know, if they don't know, then I don't know, is it like innocence? If they're like, they're presenting themselves as something that they're not. They're presenting themselves as professors, and really they're like kindergartner students, you know? Kindergartner students with ADD, they won't even learn, you see? So that they can present the truth. They think that they know the truth, you see, already. So it's like those entities, there's not much you can do. It's the prophecy of they're in the ditch with the whore. The whore is the church. All right? They're in the ditch with the whore, and they will not come out of the ditch. They will not depart from that whore. This is the prophecy. That's why, okay, once they're religious, you can't share any of this real sound doctrine with them. You can't share, how the Bible talks about the time loops. How, they even know about God warning about be more afraid of me who can kill your spirit, your second death, right? Okay. They know about, restoration, but haven't stopped to think that, hey, wow, things were worded then, what they mean now, You see what I'm saying? Restore point. John wrote what he saw. Okay? He saw a lake of fire. Well, it's a Stargate. And this thing where they got you going to hell, you're going to burn forever, that's lies. Because to have life beyond the time loops in the second death, and the second death kills you so that you don't get born after the restore point for the next timeline, the restorative timeline. So, what you did got undone, but you still had to get time loop to pay for it as your victims. And then you get spiritually executed, did not get included as the infected file. You don't get put back in it. See, this stuff is too big for the average pew warmer to comprehend. Y'all get it real easy. You have technological minds. You wrap your, so it's like I'm regurgitating, when I say this stuff again, it's like, you're like, oh, come on, you already talked about this fucking a trillion times, man, we already know, but what about the person who doesn't, you see? And the word can't return void. So it's like, this lake of fire, anybody ever been to jail? You ever got pulled over for driving drunk and got put in a holding cell with a whole bunch of motherfuckers? They're on their way to jail cells, into prison, places like that. They're not staying there. That's not where they go and stay. It's a holding cell, the bullpen. You see? Well, okay, they get thrown through the Stargate into the lake of fire, right? And they go to repay, what they owe. You see, they did not graduate. The wealth of the wicked, the non-graduates, laid up for the graduates, the just. That's talking about the escrow to get into the spirit scan. You see? So they laid down escrow that at some point those of us who graduate are going to spend either in the next timeline or in the real world once we get taken out of this construct. We have another timeline to go to get out of this construct. The first timeline calls the herd big time. The next timeline sifts through it and teaches those who are going to graduate that one. See? Prepares them for the transcendence. That's where we make sure no one slipped through the cracks. It's cold. I got one of my left foot out of my shoe because it's itching for some reason. I don't know why. Looks like I got bit by a bug or something. Which I know I didn't, but so it seems like it. I have to share it anyway. Ah, that's my low fuel thingy. My gas gauge dropping out. It doesn't stay up for long. But it goes all the way to full, so you don't even know have a clue, you know, how much is in it, unless it is full. Yeah. Something good's gonna happen for me, I just know it. Or I'm gonna die, which that's something good for me. Because then I'm done with all this bullshit, right? I'm done with the battle for nothing, you know? Because the battle's for nothing. I mean, from a human perspective, I don't stand to gain anything, you know? And to a lot of entities, that's what it's all about. They don't see the true wealth. They, hey, wow, you know, the experience I got to take care of homeless animals and feed them. You know, I got to rescue some of them and get them adopted out, get them fixed, get lives for them. You know, I got to create lives for entities that were going to be deprived of life. You have a hard life, fate worse than death. You know, being a homeless kitty is a fate worse than death for a kitty, man. You know, because they weren't bred for that. They were bred to be petted and cuddled and appreciated and pampered and spoiled and loved, and doted on, you know? They weren't bred to be wild. So, we have an obligation to the beasts that can't be loosely translated or diluted in any way. But it's not preached from the pulpit. It's not taught about. Because, well, they don't really teach you about reap what you sow in realistic karmic reciprocity terms. You know, they, okay, you reap what you sow while you're here. You see? Christ's blood's going to buy you to the next, you know, he's going to buy you out of here, you know, if you're rolling with him like that. A lot of people think that they can do whatever they want. And, you know, just once saved, always saved. No. There is no more remission for sins once you have accepted the Holy Spirit. Okay? Once you have proclaimed that Christ is your God. You see? All right? Then all sin after that is considered what's called willfully sinning. You know you're sinning. You know you're wrong. And it's called trampling underfoot the blood of the sacrifice. Christ's blood. God's blood. The clone of God. His blood. Trampling it. You see? But we have these charlatans teaching us these lies to make people feel all comfortable in their lifestyles of sin. That, do whatever you want, do as you will, which is Satanistic, aka the ancient artificial intelligence, not Luciferian. Lucifer is actually self-discipline. He was the master of music. Music requires self-discipline. Satan is just a bug, part spirit, part technology. The first trans anything failure, experiment failure, just like they want to create an experiment failure of all the humans here. So these entities have been taught from the pulpit, do whatever you will, and just ask Christ for forgiveness after you're done sinning, and you are forgiven. Okay, that's wrong. That's willfully sinning, because you know you're wrong before you do it. And you know, it doesn't matter if nobody saw you. Angels saw you. Once you accepted the Holy Spirit, you proclaim to be God's, you kind of being monitored. You see, kind of got a little spy cam on you at all times. You have a monitor, and be engaged. You see, That's why you're better off not to say you're Christian if you're going to make God look bad. You're better off not to say that you're associated to him. I'm smart enough to know that, I'll probably make him look bad, so I don't claim to be one of God's. I know some stuff. You can't die and come back and not eventually have it imbued upon your spirit. You're going to get given some things that other entities who didn't pay their price aren't given. And then, you're regarded as something by those who haven't been given the gift, you see. And they're standing out there teaching lies and delusions to their deluded congregations, you see. And they're able to work spiritual laws by brute force, like applying faith to naming seed and paying tithes into the church to reap a harvest. And for a lot of these entities, it works for a long time. They have, good results. But eventually, there's the monkey paw, because, it wasn't really the Spirit of God, you see. So it's like, for some entities, the monkey paw is more tragic than others. For some entities, the monkey paws, they got blessed. Got that nice jet ski. Their pride and joy Junior's out on that jet ski. Junior gets killed on the jet ski. You see? Well, maybe they weren't supposed to use their faith to get a jet ski. Maybe they were supposed to use their faith to do something else that will benefit other entities that they were ignoring, entities that were suffering or something, you see. So that's where your character, what does your character line up with? Does your character line up with he who you proclaim to be one of his, Does your character line up with Yah, Christ? Or is it just, you're just another ego entity, You're going to get blessed. You're going to get more toys like the world teaches them, You're going to get more stuff. You're going to be the big shot. You see? I want to be the big shot, I ain't gonna lie. I've been a poor loser all my life. I'd love to be able to buy people houses and, people who, they don't even like me. It's like, hey, I bought you this nice house. Yeah, it's part of the family legacy, you see. Because God gave me the ability to prosper and succeed. And nobody in our family, our bloodline, is going to do without. Now that I have legacy to share, you see, that's where it will be. I have stuff, but I'd make sure that others have stuff too. And I know there's a lot of entities that will be shocked, you see, and because they have small mentality, so they would want to tear it down for a few pennies on the dollar, $10,000 payout from the National Enquirer or some shit, as opposed to a $200,000 house with some property around it. You see, because, they're small-minded and they want negative drama. You see, there's that to consider when you have a jaded past, and there's a chance that something, you could do something or something could happen. Because, I have been working hard and I've been planting the seeds, and if God doesn't want to get mocked very much longer, he's going to give me a harvest before I die. So, It's like, yeah. So then he's going to have to contend with that. Can you believe we've been talking 40 minutes? Yeah. I watched that cat come up here. I don't know how much food he got or whatever, but he made his way over that way. I didn't see him do it. And he made his way back across. I don't know where he goes. He must have a place to go where he goes and hangs out to get out of the rain. I feel bad for the kitties, man. That cat looks healthy too. It's like he's not succumbing to the homeless life so easy. Some of my homeless cats that I was feeding in 2017, they were staying over there at the Coles. Before Ronnie murdered them, they looked healthy and beautiful, man. They looked like just well taken care of cats. For real. They look like somebody brushed them and bathed them, you know? I got pictures of them. You know, y'all seen them on some videos and shit. And, you know, some places where they're up, you see? And I got a lot of pictures of them kitties. Lisa used to take pictures from her window of them out there waiting while I was in the garage preparing their food. She used to be very into the ministry like that, you know, the cats, and, you know, making sure they were fed and watching them eat. You know, she used to love to watch them eat with Gato. Her and Gato would stand there in the window and watch the cats eat. Stuff like that. So yeah, I miss that, you know, sharing in my ministry with somebody that, you know, seemed to really was into it, you know. And I guess just after a while, you know, well, the outdoor cats got murdered and everything got sour and sad because of this sour, sad fucking piece of shit over here. This multiple time loops waiting to happen before he never gets born, this toxic fucker. He never gets born to do what he did to the cats and the skunks and the birds here. The dogs. You know how many dogs have been poisoned from sniffing that pole over there. I won't let my dog sniff that pole. I won't let my dog sniff the grass next to his house. It's toxic. We won't even walk past it now that I've seen him out there with acid. It's like, no. My dog's not even walking on the sidewalk past his house. Huh. It's like this dude was out there with fucking acid. And not just acid that will wash away like battery acid. This motherfucker was out there with caustic. That's like stick to shit acid. You know, stick to shit and eat it away slow and painful acid. Yeah. You know, it's like every dog gets it on its paws, every animal gets it on its paws, he's going to get time looped as it enduring that burning pain that you can't get rid of. I still got it on my lip, man. From touching my lip after touching that shit. It never went away. They like burning sensation. It's just on my lip. From touching the caustic that was in the kiddie bowl that he poured the poison in. And then I you know, touched my face before I washed my hands. And it's like just that quick of a transfer, you know, all I did was touch the bowl to pick it up and transfer it, move it. Yeah, that negatively affected me, man. I wanted to fucking, you know, retaliate so bad. It took everything, all of my self-discipline to not retaliate. You know, because I don't want to interfere with the time loops that this motherfucker's got to endure. I'm not going to martyr him from this side to stop what God's got lined up for him. The vengeance of God. You see, he's not ever going to be anything beneficial to God. This fucker's fucking about to die. He's in his late 60s. And he's fucking got heart problems and shit. He's all fucking retarded as fuck. He plays with fucking poisons and shit and gets them all over himself. He probably fucking ends up ingesting caustic, you know. He had it all over his fucking coat. Like a child, you know. And it's like, fuck. This fucker's running around loose. This guy has a driver's license, yo. Drives a vehicle around. Yeah. And you're sitting there like, really? And you're sitting there like that, huh? Can't even deliver pizzas. Somebody in the government in Michigan should be very embarrassed, but they're not. They just keep right on chugging on that K9. Schlong. Sodomizing themselves with a rotten cucumber in public. It's like, damn, yo. When you gonna stop? When are you gonna grow a sense of shame? The sense of shame that God gave a goddamn rock, yo. Shit. Yeah, I kind of proved you can't even shame them. Some entities you can't shame them. They don't accept a rebuke. So it's kind of cold out here if you don't got layers on. And I noticed it said 47 in the cabin here when I got in. It fucking don't feel like it to me. Of course, 47, I guess it's not that uncomfortable. Yeah. My sister's idea is a good idea. Give me a motherfucking moped. Yeah, and then my idea, clip it, like, for it. He was gonna go for rides with me and shit. Get him a couple little straps to hook up to his halter from each side. Put like a board floor in the basket so that his little paws got something to rest on. And get him some little goggles and shit. I think he'd have a blast. So yeah, I'm gonna seriously look into doing that. Hit this firehouse doobie again. I kind of want to re-up on some smoke before I run out to put the positive energy back on it, you know, the stowaway mentality. Wait until I run out to go get more. Is like, it just seems like it keeps you where you're always going to get more, you know? So, yeah, that's why it seems like I'm such a glutton with the shit. Is like, well, I like to get some while I still like I have a little bit left. So then, you see what I'm saying? That little bit left is sitting there while I'm working on what I just got. So I have a little bit of stowaway, stash, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I'm hoping that this shit gets worked out soon. I know what I'm gonna be doing one way or another. You know, sitting in limbo. I keep forgetting to take my pills, and I feel it in my chest, kind of like, you know, you don't want to fix the roof in the rain, but that's when you think of it, is when it's raining. And then when it's not raining, you don't think about it, so you don't do nothing about it. Well, that's kind of what it is like with these pills. I'm supposed to take them at night, because some of them make you drowsy, I guess. I don't know. They want you to take them at night. Yeah. It's fucking, I don't know, I'm kind of like antsy bored, I guess. I'd love to be in a position to be able to do something, even go for a cruise without doing that illegally, you know? Just around a few blocks even, you know, no big expensive ride. Get on one of the highways where I don't have to keep stopping and downshifting. until I get me some training fluid. And I should probably change the oil on this thing too. Got cold again, shit. So I'm really tired today. But wide awake at the same time, you know? I didn't get a lot of sleep. I didn't get to bed till like 4 or something. 4 something, and then I got up at like 9:30, some shit. And I woke up and I was just up. There wasn't no going back to sleep. Sometimes you just know that you ain't going back to sleep, so I even tried. So I just got up and started doing shit. I gotta cook up some breakfast sausage tonight. I'm waiting to let them guys have more time at the kitchen. Nighttime snack, all that shit. Because I don't like to be in people's way, you know. I was gonna do it earlier today, but yeah, I wanted to just chillax and stay in the energy. You know, the energy that I was trying to maintain all day, which it seems like I was able to do it. You know. I was hoping like to hear something today. I almost felt like in my spirit like I was supposed to hear something today about something good, but I didn't. This lady might not. It's like, I don't know. I've got a felony on my record, you know, my past and shit, so they ask about that on the application. Now, I was going to circle no, even though I know that they check. In this town, they check. And, Lisa circled yes and put 35 years ago. Over 35 years ago or some shit. So, I don't know, you know. If they check the shit, then... See, that's the thing about doing shit in this town. Having any kind of thing on your past like that, you know, then you're not even from the town, you're from Detroit. Seems like if you're from the town, no matter what you do, you're still good, you're golden. But if you immigrated to this town, they look at you differently, and there's a different standard you're supposed to abide by than the locals. Kind of unsaid, but if you could take a hit, you know. So yeah, tonight, if I was in the Detroit area, I'd probably be cruising down on Belle, cruising down Chandler Park Drive, Outer Drive. Yeah. Jet down to Hayes. Go down Alter to the foot of Alter. All that good shit. Detroit lost some of its magic when my dad died. I haven't really had any desire to go do shit since it's been dead. I think we went down to the train cruise after he died. I don't remember. So you watch the shit where the dumb shit results in the reap what you sow, karmic reciprocity. Somebody last years of their life when they should be the best, they're the most horrid form, poverty stricken, can't have a nice vehicle, shit like that. Kind of looked down upon. You see somebody get old and die like that, and I don't know, it's like you were one of the entities that you could have made a different form and you didn't, you know? Try to figure out why you didn't defy shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why you were so oblivious to their level of deprivation and suffering. And the person I'm talking about here is my dad, who was kind of a dumb shit who sowed a lot of negative seed. Like, you know, my sister's dog Skippy, that's part of my negative seed. Because I obeyed him like a dumbass. When I could have did something totally different, I could have took that dog down to my granny's house and gave him to the old man John, and he would have had a good life, and that old man would have loved the fuck out of him. Why I did what I did, my dad said take him out to a nice neighborhood and drop him off. It's like, you know, I just did what he said do. You know, I was only like, what, 16, 17, you know? It's like, yeah. And my life instantly became shit. Instantly became shit. And yeah, my thought is I deserve it. Because where their little dog's life instantly became shit, probably. I don't know. Somebody might have picked him up. He was a little Yorkshire Terrier. You might have saw him, snatched him right up. Look at that little Yorkshire Terrier. Just running around loose. Snatch him up. You know? That's what I can hope. With retrocausality, prayer, and angels go back in time and initiated that for him. See, if there were good people who noticed that he had a metal wire in his mouth from getting hit by a car and getting taken to the vet, and then never getting taken back to get the wire took out of his mouth, and that they took him and had the wire took out of his mouth, you know? Yeah, I can hope that, even though I endured a life much like his, if it's the worst case scenario, and I feel like I deserve it. The loneliness and the sadness and the feeling betrayed and abandoned, and suddenly you're alone in the world, you know? It's like, yeah, it's what I deserve because I sowed the seed for it as a kid. 40 years ago. 40 fucking years ago. And I still, it's like, it's one of the things I don't forgive myself for. It's like, you know, how do you forget yourself for some dumb shit like that, right? When you look back and you're a different person than that inbred white, double white trash piece of shit that didn't care. So you see now, if entities don't care about me, that's what I deserve. You see. And I'm grateful for it. You know, I never really understood this scripture about, you know, someone, you know, entities described in the Bible who, you know, a man who loves instruction, right? And correction, you know, being punished, being corrected. And not in a sadomasochistic way where, you know, like you're getting whipped and, oh, you know, you're getting sexual pleasure. I don't get no sexual pleasure or any kind of pleasure from the suffering that I know I deserve. I endure it knowing I deserve it. Knowing that, you know, God is not mocked, okay? I sowed a lot of good seeds to prosper and succeed, yes. But 40 years ago and beyond, I perpetuated atrocities. That one I just described is one of the lesser ones. Huh? I mean, I didn't torture no animals or nothing like that. No, it wasn't nothing like that. But you see, there's still atrocities when you negatively affect other entities. And, you know, you go into the homes of animals and you make the animals uncomfortable in their own homes. That kind of shit. Then, yeah, you sow the seeds to where, like, you won't be comfortable in your own home. Eventually, something will come into it and make you feel uncomfortable. You see what I'm saying? And I've had that happen to me a lot, where it's like, you know, I just wasn't comfortable in my own home. And I watched a lady take in some cats, a homeless cat or two. And the one cat was pregnant and spawned a litter, and she got some of them adopted out. And I imagine she held on to a kitty or two. And then she moved some dude in with her for a while. I don't know, some younger guy. Must have been one of her relatives. And he made the cat feel uncomfortable in his own house. Who knows what he was doing to this cat while she was gone. So then the cat would piss all over the furniture and shit. See, that's something people don't realize about cats, is sometimes when your cat's acting out, it's because of, it's a reaction to something, you see. Like if your cat's not using the litter, either it's getting attacked by another cat in the litter box, or the litter is not clean. You need to sift it. You know, you should sift your cat's litter at least every 24 hours. If, you know, you only have one cat and you only have one litter. If you have multiple cats and you have one litter, it should be sifted every 6 hours. If you have multiple cats, you should actually have more than one litter. And they should be sifted every 24 hours. Okay, because, well, there's the smell that can permeate the pores of the walls of the house. And you can become nose blind to it. And just the nastiness, you know, because, well, you know, cats have stuff like parasites and shit. Even when it don't seem like they have them, they, you know, cats have like parasites in their bellies, even when they don't have the parasites that you can see. So you want to get rid of their dookie in a timely fashion, so, like, you know, they're not trampling all over it. Those who will still use the litter even though it's nasty, which most cats have noticed, if the litter gets too bad, they'll shit outside of the litter or somewhere else in the house. If your cat's tearing up furniture, maybe it's being made to feel uncomfortable in the house, you see. You know, something like that. I mean, if it's suddenly doing something that it's not known for, like Johnny Gray, he chews chords. He's done that since he was a baby kitty. So it's like, you know, for him to occasionally chew a chord, and then he's got a guilty conscience about it. So every time he sees you, he'll go running out of the room. You know, because he knows that he did something wrong, and you just ain't found it yet. And you know, it's like that's not like, oh, you know, he's acting out because something happened, you know, or he feels uncomfortable. I was gonna say I don't have my phone. I thought I heard it ring. Or I thought I heard my thingy, and then I guess it didn't do anything. So yeah, my phone was a little more, or my camera was a little more charged up today, I guess. There's something that's lasting longer. Maybe because the sun ain't so bright, so it's not having to create so much color, because it's got that color creation thingy in it stuff. It's like, fuck, man, I'll be glad when this fucking rain stops. Just, what are we in New England now? Where is it? London? Where is it fucking rain all the time? It's like, shit, I wouldn't live there. It's like, fuck that. Go live somewhere else. See, I'd love to be like, where I don't have, you know, I was talking about that, you know, where I don't have the past, you know, contaminated, evil harvest, killing the good harvest of the good stuff I did, you see. And it's like, that's kind of like my test, is, you know, like, if I can be forgiven, then, you know, my good seeds can grow and become a harvest. If I can't be forgiven, then they won't, you see. So, yeah, I suppose I'll go in, and it seems like everything's calmed down and I can be in there without being in people's way. I'll make some sausage. Some breakfast sausage. Might be the last time I do that here. So it's a big roll of sausage, and I could be gone any day now. Just never know. Don't know what's happening. It's all up in the air, just waiting to get battered one way or the other, I guess. I don't know. It's scary, spooky for me. It took a couple kicks over to start that time. It's not liking this constantly rainy shit. It's still warm, so it hasn't been that long since I started it. It's kind of scary not knowing what's going to happen, you know, where you're going to be next month, what you're going to be doing, the waiting, you know, you don't know what you're going to encounter, where you're going, if it's going to be good or bad. You see my luck with people, right? I've never done anything but good for that old motherfucker. Well, except for the film in him, but he brought that on himself. He should have been poisoning shit. All out in the open in broad daylight on top of it. It's like, damn, you ain't even gonna do that shit at night, you know, under the cover of darkness. Shit, you just right out here in the open of daylight like you were fucking hiding goddamn Easter eggs and shit, you know? It's like, that's motherfucking mothballs, man. Some people get sick from that shit. The animals get sick from that shit. Their animals walking the shit, you know, and transfer it into their, like, you know, they let their animals in their bed, they transfer it into their bed, it gets in their pillow and shit, gets in their fucking system. You know, it's shit like that that these dumb motherfuckers don't understand when they go doing that shit, poisoning the ground floor and shit. Then you got dumb police that won't fucking stop them. It's like, hey, this out here, you may have to cut it, but this ain't your grass. This is the city's property. You don't poison city property. See that shit over there? That's not your shit either. Don't poison their shit. Inside your fence, that what you do there, that's your business. As long as you ain't putting so much shit underneath your neighbor's fucking ventilation that you're fucking his house up. You see? We see that. How it's fucking, you got your fence almost up underneath his fucking ventilation. You see? That old man's fence is altogether way too close to this house. I bet you if you had this fucking place assessed, they'd find that his fence should be another foot or two over towards his house. And he probably ain't even supposed to have all that. You know, because while he can just reach over with a shovel and he can just reach over with a vat of acid and pour it all over the house and shit, you know, accelerant, whatever. It's like, it's just too goddamn easy for him. He can be in there sleeping, he can be out there fucking pouring thinner on the house, lighting a match to it and shit. This guy is child-minded and he knows he's above the law. That's a deadly combination. You see? So yeah, lately I have been up a lot at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Not by choice, it's just one of the weird things where either I'm still up or I got up. And I come out to check on the animal food situation and also to check on, you know, that situation. Make sure you ain't out there roaming around with no vats of accelerant, you know, pouring shit on houses and shit. You see, it's like, that's the kind of OCD I got where, you know, when people are attacky, they kind of make me, where I'm like, I'm on the defensive, I'm watching, you know, I'm watching for their next attack. Like, he threatened me with a shovel. I had no clue that within 2-3 weeks he would be threatening me again. You know, I had no clue. And I had no clue that I could get it on film. And the police here are so lax, bumbling fucking idiots that they won't even fucking prosecute this shit. There's no prosecuting attorney in this town. There's nothing. It's like, wow, there's just nothing that will prosecute a fucking crime here unless fucking I'm the one who commits it. He did some shit. That's crazy, man. Those are real crimes, you know, threatening violence on people and shit, fucking goddamn acid attacks, and fucking vandalism on people's property and poisoning animals. It's like, you know, all that's real crimes. They wanted to fuck with me over fucking driving 2 blocks on a suspended. This clown shoe scaredy cat cops. Should be embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed to be on the force with him. Be like, damn. How come we ain't going and arresting that guy? He's got it on film. He did threaten him. As it's going click, 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 click. It's about to shut off anyway. We've been talking long enough. I have. I don't expect a lot of you to watch this far into it, to tell you the truth. I know sometimes I'll put a video on and I'm not really watching it and just listening to it in the background. You know, and I've got a plan, like, I don't know, more like for comfort. Some of Pockets of the Future's videos are like that for me, where he's talking about something and presenting it, you know, in an interesting way. And it's a long video, so I can just let it play while I'm doing something. So yeah, I know that sometimes a long video is appreciated, so that you can just, you know, turn the video on and it's playing there in the background while you're doing whatever you want to do. And you pretty much know what the visual is, so, you know, you ain't gonna be worried about seeing that. That's why I know that my videos I do in complete darkness those are more appreciated, because, well, you know, it's just dark. So you can just turn it on and listen. Kind of like hearing an old school radio show. Alright, I guess I'll get my shoe back on here. Yep. Get myself together. Go in and make me another coffee. My coffee pot quit, but I took the little thingy out of the filter thingy, and I'm not above just heating some water up in a pot and pouring it through into my cup, you know. I'm not that lazy or retarded. You know, they have a coffee pot in there, but it's like I use city water for my coffee, and look what it did to my coffee pot, because I didn't run some vinegar through it. It finally just stopped it up. And once you let it stop up, well, it's stopped up, you're fucked. So, yeah, I fucked my coffee pot up because I didn't clean it. So I gotta buy another one now. But in the meantime, I can still make coffee. It's like I'm not that, you know, inept. Yeah. I can do it like our ancestors did. Yeah. See, it's starting to get dark. Trying to keep the good energy going through the whole day. From up till down, you know. Got my hairstyle. Gonna go cook up some sausage. You know. Maybe I'll take the laptop in the kitchen with me and watch some videos while I do it. You know, something like that. You know, something like what I just told y'all. You know. I'm sure there's one there. So yeah. Be able to pull it off where the energy lasted, the good energy, and hopefully some of it dripped off to this video into your life today. See what we got going. Don't sound like much is happening. Got the squelch down, the RF gain up. So sometimes we can hear people that wouldn't be able to hear me if I try to talk to them. Especially if they're garbled. Sometimes you can bounce on shit and talk to people far away. I doubt that it happened with these power lines right here, though. Probably stop it. Alright, I'm gonna stop this. Y'all have a blessed rest of it. Whenever you see this, the rest of whatever it is.